Hi everyone, this is Kiana from oraclechamber.com here for the Magic Minute Show episode 4, where we'll be talking about the full moon in Aries happening September 24th, next Monday, 2018. And it's happening pretty late in the evening for Pacific Standard Time, Westerners like myself, and even later if you're on the East Coast or in Europe, it will be the next day. So, main things happening with this full moon. For our Astro Nerd report, we have Mars back in Aquarius, still in shadow, but making its third and final square over to Uranus in Taurus, which has gone retrograde, and it's also the ruler of Aquarius, and it's on top of the South Node. And we have a Sun-Mercury superior conjunction happening in Virgo, and for the full moon in particular, we have this full moon conjuncting Chiron in Aries, which has gone retrograde, about to go back into Pisces by the end of this month, I believe. And there's a T-square happening between the sun and the moon and Saturn in Capricorn. Dot, dot, dot. and also what's going on is we have a mystic rectangle happening in the sky as this full moon is happening as well. And it's kind of in the background. You don't really notice it behind the T-square because the T-square is getting all of the limelight because, you know, it's the most hard-hitting. But the mystic rectangle speaks wonders about what's really actually going on beneath the surface. And I also want you guys to pay attention to Venus in Scorpio at the 8th degree on this full moon, because we're going to come back to this 8th degree in the future. So just a little tidbit there. So the Sabian symbol for this full moon is called a comedian reveals human nature. And it might seem stop, I'm so trying to think about that one. It does make you go
right?
But when you look at it from a bigger perspective, the most wise and beautiful thing that humans can do is to look at themselves completely objectively, completely ego-less. Meaning, you don't take yourself so seriously to the point where you look at your little life going along with what the rest of the world, the commerce of society does, right? Just going with the flow. You look at your little life in the midst of all of that, and when you take yourself so seriously, it's like every little thing that comes your way is just drama after drama. You never catch a break. Your life is just one big pile of chaos, right? You always see your life as this big pile of chaos, when obviously, realistically, there's a lot of people who have a lot more worse things happening to them, especially in regards to our first world. So when you look at your life with this perspective of, let's say, a comedian, then you see how meaningless it all really is to just be fighting over the little details of your life, especially as we're still in Virgo season. That can kind of be the focus. It can kind of get in the way of, like, you know, you worry. Let's say, as an example, me doing these videos, I have a bigger message for what I'm coming to the spotlight to perform in front of you guys. Like, I have a message, I have an intention, I have a bigger purpose behind why I'm doing this. It's not just about, how do I look on the camera? Is the camera angled okay? Is the sound check okay? Even though these things are important, yes. But it's not the dominant focus. It's not the intention itself. And when we let these little things get in the way of our bigger purpose, then it becomes like we're just monkeys playing in the playground. We're not really looking at what we're playing on or what the game is. We're not breaking the rules. We're living within the rules because basically we're a part of the game. And this full moon is kind of amping that up a little bit. And the reason why it's so prominent right now, the reason why you may be feeling hot-headed like a typical Aries would, you may be feeling more restless and irritated and frustrated more than usual, is because this full moon is summing up all that has happened since the beginning of this summer, when Mars went retrograde in Aquarius. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, right? And so now that Mars has finally come out of retrograde, but it's still in shadow and on top of the South Node and squaring Uranus, yeah, we're not entirely out of the energy. We're kind of, we rewind and then we come back with a new perspective. And this full moon sums it up, right? It's about looking at the life we've been living in autopilot, on default, and seeing where our spirit, our essence has been missing. Where have we been retreating, withdrawing ourselves, just letting the machine run its course, just letting, the day-to-day kind of overwhelm your psyche to the point where this is who you are, right? This, all you know is stress because it's all you associate yourself with. That's all your ego knows, is what's the next thing coming around the corner, the future or the past or the person or the relationship or the project or the work situation, right? All of these things, they're all kind of caving in onto the ego, and the ego's freaking out, and it's like, I don't know what to do because everything's coming at me and I have to be the one to make all these decisions, right? Yes. But when you let that overwhelm you, when you let that become you, become your reality, become your life, then you lose everything that you actually are. Because Aries is not found in just the humdrum and the chaos and the overwhelming sensations of the commerce of civilization.
That was a mouthful.
Aries isn't found there. Aries is found in the deepest pits, in the groins, and the heads, and the blood pumping, and the heart beating from just being human, just being alive, just being here, just having the courage to move. And when we're not moving, we're stuck, we're dead. And because this full moon is conjuncting Chiron and squaring over to Saturn, there's a part of us that just wants to die, right? There's a part of us that wants to stay put. There's a part of us that doesn't want to go forth because it requires you to take responsibility. It requires you to take the lead role in your life. Aries requires you to step forth and reclaim your power, reclaim your voice, reclaim who you actually are, your essence. And Saturn wants you to stay in the box. But since Saturn went retrograde and is just now coming forward, I feel like now more than ever, we have tapped into our power. Even though we're going slow, even though it's like, it's a foggy start because we're just it's kind of like getting back in the gym after like weeks or months or years of staying out of it. There's a transition period that we have to go through. We have to get in the zone. We have to get our mindset right, first of all, and we have to commit to our cause. We have to commit to the larger purpose to which this Aries energy needs to go. We need to commit to the larger essence behind why we even want to take the front stage. Why do we even want to get out of the box? Why do we want to liberate ourselves? What are we actually searching for? And to get so clear on what this is. And it's not going to come immediately because Venus, the counterpart to Mars as its female equivalent or feminine equivalent, it is in shadow. And Venus in Scorpio is like a lotus flower in the mud, of course, but also right now it's not even fully grown. It's kind of like we're just seeing like the little petal area where it's closed up in itself and you can't see the inside of it, but you know that it's going to be beautiful, and you know that just give it enough time and the mystery will be solved, right? Venus in Scorpio right now, since it's in shadow and it's in like one of the most mysterious signs of the zodiac, Scorpio, there's a lot getting ready to unfold that we have yet to see. see yet, even though we're getting kind of the clues, little tidbits, little breadcrumbs are being placed in our pathway, and we just have to kind of follow like Hansel and Gretel down the path to the witch's lair. The answer is not there yet, so don't get yourself so emotionally attached to what you're seeing in the present right now, because it will change when Venus comes back into this area after it is finished its retrograde, and that won't be until like the end of the year. So we still have lots to kind of peruse through. Just use this time, because Saturn is involved. Use this time to tap into your Saturn. Wherever Saturn is in your chart, that is the place you want to be looking at, because it's triggering it. Your Chiron as well. And your Chiron being where you're going to lead and teach others. For my channel specifically, because I know you guys are not the masses, you guys need to be on the front end. You guys need to be standing up, sharing your voice, sharing all the ideas you have. Just start doing them. Don't worry about what the world says or where the world is at now, or waiting for the world to catch up with you, because it's never going to. It's never going to. We are the ones, the trailblazers, who make the world as we step forward. We don't wait for the world to catch up. We bring the world with us. And this is how we lead, and this is how you must lead. And you can't be afraid of the world as it is right now. You have to find wherever Saturn, the daddy Saturn, wherever you've been letting outside authority kind of take over that part of your life, whatever fear you have, you need to conquer that. Aries requires the utmost courage. And as an example, my biggest fear in my life has always been driving. I'm 22 years old and I still don't have my driver's license. It's been like a phobia of mine. Every time I get behind the wheel, I kind of just freak out, and everything, the world goes black, right? This is where my energy has been lately. I'm conquering my fear. I'm stepping into my courage, even though I know that the fear isn't really gonna go away. It's definitely not gonna go away if I just don't get behind the wheel. I can't just take Ubers everywhere, right? For the rest of my life, because part of my life path involves stepping into that and going, doing, and being in places, new people, new areas, new environments where my voice is allowed a lot more space to grow and to breathe. So for you personally, wherever that may be for you, this is what you need to tap into for this full moon. And even though it's not going to be immediate, as long as you take the first step, Aries is the first sign, remember, as long as you take the first step, the rest of the path will open up to you. Just allow it to unfold like Scorpio does. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you next week with the full new moon in Libra. Magic Minute, episode number 5. Thank you guys very much for watching. And I want to give a shout out to all the people that took up my discovery call session. It was such a pleasure to meet all of you guys, all of you beautiful, lovely voices, because I didn't see your faces, I heard your voices. It was such a pleasure to hear your guys' voices in the actual like real life, because in actual real life I'm just talking to a camera, right? And it's kind of there's a gap between what I'm saying and whether you guys are actually hearing what I'm saying. And it was a pleasure to know that there's actually humans on the other side. So I'm sending you much love from my heart to yours. And I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon. Conquer your fears, don't be afraid of the world, and step into your voice. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe for more videos. We publish every week. Click the thumbs up button if you liked this video, and share it with your friends. And Miko is going to ask the question of the week. What is your self-image? How you see yourself? What is it that you want to project into the world? Answer it, because none of you answered it. You guys are all being like trolls right now.
Maybe it's extreme.
Comment on the video, because that's the only way for me to know if you guys are listening. Don't just stand there. Comment.
Oh my God.